Hello, how are you today? This is Celia Faye Meisel coming to you live for our live stream this week, where I'm going to be diving into 3 strategic moves that maximize your launch and virtual event sales. If you are joining me live, make sure that you interact and you engage. Drop a comment if you are connecting with me live. Drop the word scale in the comments so I know that you're here. If you're watching the replay, type replay in the chat and I can engage with you during the replay or after you've watched the replay. So I want to talk about this topic today because there's several reasons. And one is that I work with a lot of clients on their launches and their events, their virtual events, and now that COVID, now that COVID has, simmered down, my clients are opening up to in-person events as well, and I do support with some of those additionally, and I have clients that are doing hybrid events as well. And so when I do all of these events and I work with these clients, I notice all of these ways that they could dial in and they could improve how they're going about things so that they could increase more sales and capture more sales in the launches and events. So a lot of the content I create in my program design as well is in response to seeing all of these lost opportunities and gaps in the sales process, and also gaps in the business that need to be addressed in order to increase sales and increase conversions on the back end and create a better customer experience. In case we haven't met before and you haven't tuned into one of my live streams, I'm Celia Faye Meisel, and I am a strategic online sales and business consultant, and I'm an scale expert for businesses with launches and virtual events that are using that as their enrollment model, that also, are enrolling year round, but I really come in and support them with their launches and virtual events and then help them to optimize their companies year round so that every time they go to launch, they're making more sales, they're reaching more people, they're creating a better experience. And I've been doing this for many years. Sales teams that I've trained, led, and sold for have generated over $10.5 million in high-end program sales. And that number is going up every month based on who I'm working with and what's going on in the world of sales with me. And this time of year in November, there are a lot of sales opportunities. Many of my clients are launching. They're either launching right now, they're selling to their current audiences, they're gearing up for their Q1 and Q2 2023 launches. So there's a lot of activity going on here in Q4 in the last 6 weeks of 2022. And it's really exciting to be a part of it. And recently, because I have some new clients I've been working with and some clients that are launching new offers, we've been spending a lot of time on their offer language and their offer positioning. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So this live stream, again, it's all about helping business owners maximize every sales opportunity available, from new leads to existing clients. And the truth is that so many businesses, especially coaching businesses, because that's what I specialize in, working with coaching businesses selling high-end programs, whether it's business coaching or personal development. I love working with personal development brands. And all of this money is being left on the table every launch and every event. And I wanted to dive in and explore these 3 strategic moves that you can use and at least become aware of, because some of the things you may not be able to do on your own. And that's something that I talk about often in my content, is DIYing and trying to stay solo, especially when it comes to your launches and events, is just something that will keep you stuck and keep you at a current revenue level where you could be growing and scaling much more exponentially with these items in place and more. I'm only diving into one piece of an area that has multiple pieces. So if you like what I've shared so far and you are interested and would like to set up a call with me, you can book a strategy session with me at moremethod.info. I actually have some appointments available coming up next week. And then my calendar is closed for the holidays. So if you have a launch that you're currently in or you're planning your Q1 launch for 2023, I highly encourage you to get on my calendar so we can talk about your strategy and what you're doing to close more deals inside of your business, whether you're launching now or you're in the future. And I also do launch audits and launch reviews as well, to review like what needs to be improved and look at KPIs moving forward. Okay, So the first strategic move that you need to have is your offer positioning, okay? So your offer positioning is what you do, it's how you talk about your offer. So let's say that you have your offer and you have your features, right? You have, and the feature slash service delivery. It's got this many modules. It's got this many calls. It goes on for this many months. That is what most people are talking about and focusing about in their content, in their launch and event content, especially the ones that aren't converting at the numbers that they could be. And here's the thing that you need to understand is if you try to glorify your 9 modules and your 8 calls and your Facebook group and try to position benefits around that and try to position that as the offer, it's not very exciting. It doesn't stand out. It doesn't make you sound like somebody who's unique and different, who offers something special, something transformational. You just kind of sound like everybody else. Well, doesn't every coach have 9 calls? And okay, yours has 12 calls. A difference between 3 calls and 12 calls isn't enough for somebody to click buy or to raise their hand, okay? So you have to talk about your offer and position your offer in a way that really stands out. And here's the key about it. Okay, you go into your offer and you develop the language and you develop the messaging around that. And there's 2 things that you want that to do. There's 2 things. Number 1 is you want it to target the right people. So you have to be speaking to the right people with the right top of mind challenge that is, that's prevalent for them. And you also have to be speaking to qualified buyers, right? People that are ready to invest, that are looking for support. And they may not be even like, okay, shopping for a coach, but they're open and they know they need some help. And if they connected with the right person, that they would invest if that person showed up and was like, I help with exactly what you're challenged with right now. Okay. So it's a perfect win-win between what the person is dealing with and what the person and the transformation and how you help people on the other side. Okay. So there's number 1 is the targeting. You got to make sure that you're dialing in the targeting, and you want to, before you click post, before you go live, you want to make sure that that message is speaking to the right people and that you're not speaking to people that aren't going to invest. Okay. So if you feel like your messaging is convincing people how great your offer is, well, probably, there's a lot more work to be done around your mindset and your sales strategy and your sales approach. But however, speaking to the right people, targeting the right people with your messaging and your offer positioning is essential. And of course, that offer has to deliver the result. That's a given, and that's above and beyond what we're talking about right now. So there's the targeting, and then the other piece is the seeding. So when you're marketing and you're showing up, you're going live, you're posting, you're doing your event, you are doing everything in a way that leads back to your high ticket offer. You are seeding that transformational experience that they're going to get with you when they click and buy. Now, the thing is where most people really get tripped up, okay, with offer positioning, and it happens to me, and this is an expertise of mine, is we're too close to it. We're so close to it that we can only see sometimes the features and the service delivery. We have to zoom out and see the bigger picture and tune in on, okay, what is my client dealing with? How do I help them? How do I position the offer so that it speaks to that in a compelling way? And then make sure I'm writing about it, I'm posting about it, I'm speaking about it in a way that seeds them actually wanting to come and hire me and work with me. Okay. Now, most people, it's just that it's too close to us. We're like so just cozied up with the offer and we love it so much. And that's why having an expert to help you develop your offer language, to develop your positioning so that it's high converting and attractive. Let me just try and say that whole thing again. You want to work with an expert who can help you make sure that the offer positioning language is designed in a way that it's compelling to the right buyers, that it speaks to them, and that it'll be high converting. Okay. That's what I was trying to get at. I got a little tongue tied there. So that is just something for you to think about. Are you too close to your offer? Let me know in the comments. Do you feel like you've really got the offer positioning dialed in, or do you think that there's work to be done? Because it is not a one and done thing. It often takes a few iterations, a few conversations back and forth to get it to where the language is really dialed in. But once you have it, you can use it over and over and over again for the life of the offer. One of my clients is launching their offer for the third time. And so we actually rewrote a lot of the positioning language because she's evolved, the clients have evolved, the results have evolved. And so we've shifted it up to so that it's more relevant. So as you grow and as your offer grows and changes, how you talk about it and how you position it may change. So that's number one, offer positioning and making sure that it's targeting the right people who are the qualified buyers that you want to speak to, and that you are seeding your offer in your launch and event content, and that you're working with an expert coach or consultant that you can help you with that. If that's something that you're interested in exploring, you can head over to my calendar and book a call with me at moremethod.info. Okay, number two, strategic move number two, have a high touch sales process. Now, I could preach all day about why I don't advise getting a closer for your business or hiring closers, because closers do one thing and they're known for doing one thing. They get on the call, they have a conversation, they make an offer, and they close. Okay. What if the person doesn't buy on the call? And some of those closers use really high touch, they use high pressure sales tactics. They discount the price by multiple $1,000s and they say, okay, you have to buy on the call right now. I actually was meeting with one of my sales reps this week, and she was talking about how she worked with this coach, a well-known guru coach, a man, a bro marketer, and how they taught this strategy for selling where it was a closer type sales strategy, and you had to get on the call and then you had to make the offer, and then if the person didn't buy or they had an objection or they weren't going to do it now and you had discounted the price, then they kind of went into drilling them about why they're a failure and why they're not committed to their dreams and all of these things. And that gives the sales industry such a bad rap. There are so many heart-centered salespeople out there. And so I really like to look at bringing on people that are sales reps, that they are there for the person. Their job is to support the potential customer in making that buying decision and doing activities up front to warm them up and get them warmed up and excited and ready to buy and eager, and then also doing the enrollment conversation, and then also doing the follow-up as well, because sometimes people need they need an extra call. I'm a huge fan of a 2-call sales process. I love it very much. So you really have to design your sales process. And that's almost like another sub point of having a customized sales process. And that is something that I help my clients to design, because it's not cookie cutter. And you don't want your heart-centered coaching business to look like a bro marketer sales process. And so there are things to put in place. And one of those is the high touch sales process. So that's the pre-call. Those can be warm reach outs, warm touches from you or your sales rep or your sales admin. Can also be done with automation. I recommend a combination of both. And then also having during the call, the actual sales call be a customized conversation that's developed to represent your brand and your business. And then also any kind of follow-up that needs to be in place as well. So that is the high touch. And there's multiple touches that happen throughout the whole experience, but really the pre-call, the during, and the post-call. And if you're doing a launch or event, it's the same thing. You really want to think of like a story. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. And how that looks is going to be unique to each of the customers based on where they are in their journey. And the thing is that if you're keeping good data, if you have a great high touch sales process, if somebody doesn't buy right now, oftentimes my clients get people that have been nurtured through their sales processes, and then they come back the next year ready to buy, pay in full, eager. So know that these high touch sales processes are literally like, they're planting seeds for the future of your business and planting seeds for your clients that will come to you in the future. So they pay off and they reap they yield immense rewards compounded over time. So that's something to think about, that yes, we want this thing to perform in the moment, but we're also playing the long game, and we want it to perform and yield results for us over time. Because when you go to do your next launch, if you have somebody that's been in your world for 3 years and they come and invest in your program, that's super exciting, right? Like, heck yes, I'm so excited. Of course, we want those new people and the fresh people as well. So something to think about, high touch sales process. That is something that I support my clients with in designing custom language, touch points, all of the things around that. The last strategy, the last move, okay, this is a little bit more on the tactical slash common sense side of things. I guess I could just say it that way. So it's a given, but it's something that ends up costing people a lot of money when it's not sorted out. And that's making sure that your tech and your sequences are working and tested. Okay. You got to have your links and your pages, because here's the thing. I know I said it's common sense, but we all know as online business owners, setting up a landing page, setting up an email campaign, there are multiple steps involved and usually multiple people involved as well, right? Things get missed, things get overlooked, a copy tweak here, a messaging here, a link here, a plugin here, all of that adding up to not working. All of these little pieces can create a tech disaster and a not so great experience for your buyer. Okay. Now, of course, they're going to have grace with us if things happen. Things happen, it's fine. But we really try to show up, especially when you're selling high-end programs and services. You want to show up with your best. That doesn't mean that you have to be perfect and you can't make any mistakes. However, going through, reviewing all the tech, reviewing all the sequences, not DIYing it, making sure that you have somebody that can review that and can help you test it is super important. You want to make sure that all the pages and the forms and the carts and the checkouts are all tested. Test is the most important thing. And don't wait until the last minute on this. Don't procrastinate. Don't put it until the very end. Test it and make sure that it's working, because we don't want people to go and put in their credit card and they're already kind of nervous at the checkout, and all of a sudden it doesn't work and they're like, oh my gosh, it's a sign from the universe, I shouldn't do that. Now, that's a whole other conversation, and that person that says that might need a little bit of coaching. However, that's just something we want to think about. We don't want to lose that temperature, right? If we have somebody who's hot and they're about to buy, and our tech and our softwares and our sequences are sort of, turning down the temperature of their eagerness, because they're like, well, does this company even have it together? If I can't even buy from them, this is what their brain might say to them, and if I can't even buy from them, what's it going to be like when I come into their program? Like, do they have a course, their membership set up? Is it going to be this like really clunky experience? Because the thing is right now, with the connection with technology and people so involved in Zoom and social media, and more than ever, and new businesses starting up more than ever, all of this, there's a high sensitivity to technology that people can get easily defeated. Now, a good buyer, they're going to see it through, but what about those people that they're just a little bit wobbly, right? We want to really hold them and create a really beautiful experience for them. And at least if there's a tech problem, you have somebody, you have your high touch sales process, you have somebody that they can reach out to, you have somebody that's made contact with them that they could text or call back. They have emails that they receive from your company that they can reply to. So that channel and that road that leads back to you, because you have a great sales process, will help with maintaining that stick. That stick meaning like they actually follow through and complete their purchase. So those are some things to think about. And I know with this last point, I kind of have gone into like the kind of the horror story and down the rabbit hole, but you just need to know and be aware, because you don't want to have a tech nightmare or create problems and obstacles when it comes to them actually converting and registering and enrolling inside of your program. Okay. So let me recap the 3 strategic moves to make that will maximize your launch and virtual event sales. We have the offer positioning and all of the things that I talked about around that. We have the high touch sales process pre, during, and post. And we have all of the tech and the sequences working and tested. And these things create such a strong foundation for your business. They help you so much with solidifying things and anchoring your program in and your delivery. You have no idea what strength and agility even that having all of this in place gives you in your company, because as you grow, that's why am a scale expert, because all of this stuff, it doesn't get reinvented at every new income level. It's scalable, so we can tweak it, we can adjust it, but it's the foundation is the same. I mean, when I'm working with my 8-figure clients and I'm going in, I'm doing this stuff with them. So I do this with my multiple 6-figure clients all the way up to 8-figure clients. So this isn't just, oh, that would be great to have, Celia. Now you got to have a business. This isn't, I'm not talking to people that don't have a business yet, or their business is just an idea and they've never sold anything before. And I think that comes across in my targeting and my positioning of how I speak and who I'm speaking to. So this is really for companies at all levels. So don't think, oh, Celia, you just work with the 7 and 8-figure clients, like this doesn't apply to me. You will be so surprised in putting in sourcing some sales support in your company, whether it's from an administrative help, not a VA, all the way to a sales rep, even at multiple 6 figures. You will grow so much faster. And most people just don't know how to do it because number one, they don't have a background in sales. And number two, they just don't really know how. They don't know how to hire. They don't know how to find good people. They definitely don't know how to train. And so you feel like everything falls on you. And I just want you to know that doesn't have to be the case. If you see yourself as the 7 and 8-figure business owner who knows that they're not going to be a solopreneur forever, it's time to start aligning with that future possibility that you know is there for you. I'm here today and I'm on this live stream because Celia of 7 years ago in 2015 saw something. I saw something in myself. I saw a future not yet realized. I saw a potential for myself that if I said yes to it and I stepped into it, that my life could be completely different from what I had previously created. And so using this approach of not going and like over investing and doing the law of attraction type stuff, that none of that. I'm talking about seeing this future potential and starting to behave like that version of you and make decisions like that version of you from now. Eventually, things will start to match up in your world where you can go make all the big purchases that you want to make. But right now it's about the decisions and the behaviors. And these are things that companies of all levels that are selling high-end packages, that have coaching and high-end coaching and consulting businesses will benefit from greatly. So that is my message for you today. I would love to know in the comments, like, what are you taking away from this? I have a big brain and I have a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, and I gave you some bonus points and bonus tips at the end. What are you taking away from this video? What are you thinking about? Are you going to take any action? Are you going to book a call with me? Are you thinking about it? Go ahead and book that call at http://moremethod.info. If you type in moremethod.info, that should work just fine. Have a great day. If you're in the US, I think I'll be on next week before Thanksgiving. I'm pretty sure I haven't scheduled it yet. I should be on before the holiday. But I wish you a happy holiday if you're in the US and you celebrate the American Thanksgiving. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.